I also took Bobby out on my lunch break sometimes so he can get some outdoor time. Remember that there is a real world still outside of his cardboard box.
Country boy, I love you.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, which you can only subscribe to if you have to be hand-fed all of your meals baby bird style. But don't worry, for you will make an exception. So today we're delving into the journey of trying to save a baby bird. How did I find the bird? So I was going for a walk at night. As I was approaching my house, I realized there was a cat, and I thought it was like attacking a butterfly or something, but then I realized it was a baby bird, and I had to step in. I just felt so bad. So here's a quick dramatic representation of how I got the bird from the cat. Okay, so I didn't actually drop kick the cat into next week, but I did shoo the cat away, scooped up the bird, which I then named Bobby, into a plastic bag. That's all I had on me. And I delicately carried him home. At first, I kept him in a smaller box, and I was frantically Googling late at night what to do if you find a baby bird. I was watching YouTube videos, I was Googling things. There was like mixed messages on whether or not to feed it and what even to feed it. So I kind of just let him chill overnight. The next morning, I was able to talk to Bobby's Aunt Jill. Now, Aunt Jill worked at a wildlife rehab, therefore Aunt Jill was also Dr. Jill. She recommended that I call wildlife rehabs to see if they could take in the baby bird. It's also important to note that he seemed to have had a bite on his wing. I called the rehab. They just didn't take songbirds at all, but go to their website and get instructions on how to care for them. And then I went to the website and it said, if the bird is injured, call the rehab. So instead of going into this infinity loop of calling the rehab and checking their website, I just asked Jill what I should do next. Now, the critical moment came when Jill said, if I fed Bobby and he was dehydrated, that he would die. And the only way to check if he's dehydrated is to open his mouth and to see if it's stringy. It didn't look stringy, and he also pooped during the night, so I kind of just hoped he wasn't dehydrated and decided to feed him. According to the internet, you can feed a baby bird dog food. I woke up early before work. I went to Shoppers, got dog food, just to learn that Bobby was a diva and didn't like dog food at all.
Disgusting!
I even tried feeding him dog food in between feeding him other things because it has protein for him to grow, you know, big and strong. I wanted him to leave my apartment jacked and ready for the world, but no, he hated the dog food. So what I was feeding him was banana mixed with egg. Now this is according to the internet, what I could feed him with also what I have in my apartment. I'm getting you some food, boy. What? You don't like my cooking? I really wanted to get this boy some insects. It wasn't rainy, so I couldn't find worms, and Toronto was still in like a full lockdown, so you literally can't buy anything other than like food. I tried going to Walmart to see if the pet department had any kind of insects or anything, and no, there's no insects, but don't worry, they did have bird piñatas. I'm still not 100% clear, but it seems like they are genuinely piñatas meant for your bird. I wasn't able to buy Bobby food, but I could throw him a fiesta. I actually made an online order to try and get crickets to feed him. I never, ever received my confirmation. I can confirm that I bought 100 crickets and never received them. If the closest PetSmart to me wasn't a half-an-hour drive away, I would have called to fix the issue, get my crickets and set them free, but that's a lot of driving for a joke. Just to illustrate the lengths I was willing to go for Bobby, while I was waiting for confirmation on those crickets, one of those like house centipede things crawled across my pillow on my bed. And instead of moving out and never coming back here ever again like I should have, I caught that house centipede. I cut it up so he could get some protein because that diva doesn't like dog food. That is true love and trauma. By the third day, he was chirping so much. I gotta go back to work so I can afford to buy you crickets and more bananas. Okay, bye, baby. He'd gotten so comfortable with me. Like, I would go near him and he's like, it's time for food. So he knew that I was the food source. It's a little difficult to work from home and be on calls and meetings when there is a bird chirping in the background the entire time. I also moved him from a smaller box to a huge box because he was trying to jump around so much. I think he was in like the fledgling stage, but I think that's a time where he should have still been like with his mother, like his bird mother, not this mother, so that she could feed him and like show him how to find food and stuff. And he was jumping so much, and I hope that this is a good sign that he was getting better, had energy to move around, and his wing injury wasn't too bad. I also took Bobby out on my lunch break sometimes so he can get some outdoor time. Remember that there is a real world still outside of his cardboard box, which I also added an egg carton, and he seemed to really enjoy perching on the egg carton. It was pretty cute, but he seemed really chill outside. Before taking him out one day after work, I had a feeling like that he would just try and get out and never come back. I had a feeling he was gonna run for it. The first time I took him outside, he was not that fast and he wasn't going very far. But unfortunately, there's a point where he started hopping around a lot. He was kind of chilling there, open mouth, thinking of his plan of how he was going to escape. And then he went for it, and he went for it. And I stopped recording at this point because I'm not just trying to save a baby bird for clout. I actually did genuinely want him to be okay. And I ran after him, and he escaped to this giant bush, and I just could not for the life of me get him. I saw him bolt for the gate, and I just needed him to not go under the gate because that's when it was game over. Like, I can't go into my neighbor's backyard. There was a worm, conveniently. I tried dangling this worm in front of him. He stared at it for a second, and then he beelined for the fence, and he was just gone. I felt dumb because I should be faster than a baby bird, but I was a little proud because that boy was fast, meaning I think his egg and banana diet really paid off. Because he was so fast and because he was jumping around so much the last couple days I had him, I'm really hoping that he was at a point where he was okay out in the wilderness all by himself. I don't know if young Bobby boy made it out there in the world. I hope he did. I will never look at bird poop splatters the same. I'm also going to keep making really strong eye contact with all sparrows I see, and if one of them stares at me really hard back, I'm going to know that that's Bobby and that he wants me to know that I did a great job. And actually, quickly, kind of relates to this whole theme of me having really strange animals and things in my apartment that shouldn't be there. I'm currently waiting for my butterflies to hatch, so that's going to be a whole video shortly soon too. So you want to subscribe and see if I'm a better butterfly mom than bird mom now that Bobby's gone. And I know I live in an apartment where the house centipedes like to sleep in my bed. I'm gonna go ahead and move out forever. Just kidding, I can't afford to do that. I just really wish that they were gonna sleep in my bed with me, they'd pay rent. Okay, bye.